phone, but you know, same shit.
Whatever, it'll end up the same.
Brother, what's going on? You're quarantining over there.
What's up?
Now we back, man. Now we can't make an excuse. You know, when we don't have a show, we gotta hop on this. We gotta hop on this show. It only took a pandemic for us to realize that, right?
Yeah, you can hear me okay?
Yeah, you good? You good?
All right, cool. I got my belt. You got your belt. I got Edge over here.
Ah,
We have.
Edge.
How you? Before we get into WrestleMania, by the way, this is No Ref Podcast, Wrestle Cave.
Yes.
We can't do anything in person, so we're doing it from home. I got my little headset on here.
The goat.
My dog. I was just telling Ace, my dog was just chilling and standing right here. He never wants anything to do with me, but because I'm doing something, he's got to be over in my business.
Braun the goat. How you
Yeah.
feel about Braun? Let's just get right to it. How you feel about?
Well, before we get into that, what have you been doing? Like, what have you been doing the last month? Yeah. Yeah.
Just getting fried, you know. I gotta get back into my health shit. I haven't been disciplined. I'm one of those guys that I'm very good in the gym when it comes to at home working out. I'm not so great with it, so I'm trying to, you know, get better with that. And you know, I've, you know, been forced to work still. So I just been, you know, pretty much doing the same shit that I was doing before. And you know, just trying to stay out of the way, trying not to get sick. What about yourself?
Oh man. Movies. I've been watching a lot of movies. Been working out, taking my dog out to the park, going to the park where I can, staying away from people, cooking, doing a lot of cooking, playing video games, just anything, playing games, like keeping my mind going, crossword puzzles, like anything to just
Now,
stay
is your
sane.
job closed right now?
Yeah, my job's closed. I'm working from home, so
Oh, that's good.
luckily I'm thankful enough I have the opportunity to be able to work from home. So.
Absolutely.
But I feel for, I just want to say I feel for a lot of people that don't get to, like, my office is closed. Like, there's a lot of people in my office that can't work from home, so they got to do other stuff. But it is what it is, man. We can't do anything but just try to move on, and move on we shall. WrestleMania last 2 nights. What did you think of the overall feel of WrestleMania with no crowd, nothing? What did you think of that?
I feel like it had its good
Weird.
moments. I feel like it's had its good moments. I feel like it had its bad. I feel like some matches probably needed a crowd, and some things needed a crowd, and some things didn't. You know.
So I felt like a lot of the matches that were just kind of thrown together, like Elias and Corbin, Alistair, Bobby, like those type of matches, probably could have used a crowd, like Liv Morgan, Natalia, because they were just thrown together. There's no story, so like you kind of need to feed off the crowd there, because you don't really have anything to go on. Whereas like an Edge, Randy Orton, Otis, Dolph, like all those type of matches have a backstory that you can go off of, like Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. So they didn't need a crowd as much. They could like kind of tell the story through what they're doing in the ring. But like some of them, like you said, it was noticeable. It had its ups and downs, but I mean, they split it into 2 nights. There were going to be some moments that were and there were some that were really good. What did you think of the first night?
The first night, I'm torn. I don't know how to feel about AJ and Taker's match.
I like that.
I like it. I'm not trying to read into it too much. It was better. I feel like if Taker's doing shit like that, I'm more for that. I feel like that's where he should be at nowadays with his career. But if that was the last Taker match, I'm actually, you know, happy with it. I don't know. I don't know what more it is to do with him other than, you know, put over the scene or Aleister Black. I really don't. I really don't know what else is to do for him at this particular point. If this wasn't wrestling, because it was basically a WWE movie, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was easy, but if you're looking at it from that standpoint, but as far as, you know, I'm not going to shit on it because we always complain about WWE not being creative. So they're finally, being creative with a couple things that I feel like they did really, really well with it. Some things that you said it perfectly. The things that didn't have that were kind of like thrown together, I don't think they should have been on Mania. I think if you take the matches that were thrown together,
Why did we need Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley? There was no
yeah,
story
I don't understand
at
that.
all. No story at all.
I don't understand that.
The
I don't
biggest
get it.
story going into that match was that Bobby Lashley wore pants. That was the biggest story going into that match.
He looked great. He looked great. You
He
know,
always does. He always does.
but yeah, I think that hurt it. I think that hurt WrestleMania. I think it would have been perfect if you would have put the shit that had no meaning on the pre-show, and it would just be like, all right, it's just some good wrestling, but got
Yeah,
to the shit that actually we care about. You know,
but
um,
yeah. Having said that though, night one still had some good stuff. What'd
yeah,
you think? What'd you think? Let's get right into the title matches. So we had two title changes, two title changes and three title defenses. We had Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross win the women's tag championship, and we had Braun Strowman win the WWE, right? Or
yep.
Universal?
You,
Universal? What is it
you,
at this point? Let me see.
Blue,
Universal. He's
Blue
got
versus
Universal.
Blue versus.
Universal. Yes. So after and then the other the other championship matches, Becky Lynch defended that women's championship against Shayna, which I was surprised by. Sami Zayn defeating Daniel Bryan, I was also surprised by, but I kind of like what they're doing. Hold on one second, and then Morrison and Miz retained in that latter match. It ended up being a triple threat singles match, but
I like that.
my point I was about to get into. I actually kind of like what they're doing with Sami Zayn, giving him a win and Cesaro a win over Gulak on the pre-show. Because if you look over the past year and then some, Sami Zayn and Cesaro have just eaten loss after loss after loss after loss after loss. Shinsuke had the Intercontinental Championship, but how many matches did they really let him have? Not many. So you've seen over the past month that they're trying to build this artist collective. I may not like the name, but I like the group. So you saw Cesaro get a big win against Drew Gulak, and then you saw Sami Zayn get a big win. So that's two big wins for that group. So I do like those wins there. I see what they're trying to do. Would I like to see Daniel Bryan win? Absolutely, of course. But I think they're a little bit unsure of Daniel Bryan's future, what he's going to do. So I think that might be why you have Sami Zayn retaining there. But I was more surprised by Alexa Bliss and more in the women's division. Becky Lynch winning and Nikki and Alexa winning. What did you think?
The first part, I feel as though Daniel does not need. Daniel doesn't need any wins. I mean, well, he didn't need that win more than Sammy.
Exactly.
I was glad Sammy retained. Here's my only thing about the artist collective. I prefer them to be heels, but I prefer them to be flat out wrestlers. Like you take Sami Zayn, you take Cesaro, you take Shinsuke Nakamura. These are like some of the best workers in the fucking business. You know what I'm saying? If you let them be who they are. The only thing about Sammy that
He's
I
about
don't that's,
Sammy's the only one right now that's not like doing pure wrestling. Like
that much thing, so
Cesaro and Shinsuke still are, but
like
it's he's playing that character. So I mean, it's fine. It's fine with me.
yeah, I just hope that it's just based off of that character. Because
Oh, it absolutely is.
Because Sammy used to go. Can you imagine if it was Sammy, competitive Sammy with the mouthpiece wrestling like how he wrestled in NXT next to
We'll get
Shinsuke?
it's one match. It's the first match he's really had in a while. I mean,
Yeah.
it's clearly the character because they did the same thing in the 3-on-1 match against Braun Strowman. Sammy did nothing. Cesaro and Shinsuke did all the legwork, and then Sammy ended up
Right.
winning. You saw it here where Sammy was just running out of the ring, and then you had Cesaro and Shinsuke constantly interfering. It's the same thing. It's all character. We know he can wrestle. It's all part of this character, which I'm fine with. He has the two guys next to him that can go. I actually hope they keep this going with Drew Gulak and Daniel Bryan, and I hope they add somebody else in. I actually kind of hope they add in Chad Gable or Apollo Crews, like another like pure wrestler guy, because then you can have solid matchups for months between those two trios. Really, I would like to see that, and then it would help the other two guys with Daniel Bryan. It would help everybody involved, really.
And I think that's what Daniel Bryan is doing it for. So anything that Daniel Bryan is a part of, he elevates talented people, and I'm all for the artist, collective, and I'm glad that Sammy retained. Um, as far as the women's match, didn't care for it. I don't understand
Which
why
one? The Becky one?
Becky. Um, I don't know why Shayna would lose. I don't know why would you book her to lose? You know what I mean?
The
So early, so fresh. I mean, I know she's not a draw. I know that Becky is, I don't know if y'all are they saving that slot for Ronda when she gets back? I just don't understand
that's what I was just about. That's what I was just about to say because to me it makes no sense to have her beat Baszler right away. Um,
Yeah.
because Becky has been on this tear right now. Becky has beat everybody. So why wouldn't you have somebody dominant come in like that, take over her position? That way Becky actually has something to chase instead of Becky just cruising on top. Her actually trying to get back on top because that was the story for a while was her trying to get on top. And then for a little while there when she had the belt, she was kind of coasting from character perspective on screen. I'm not saying Becky as a person was. I'm saying the way they portrayed her on screen, she was kind of coasting every week. She was just coming out, talking, doing the Becky thing, and not the Becky thing that got her there. The WWE Becky thing once she got the championship. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
agree.
So I feel like Shayna should have won here, so that way they could have maybe got that fire back in Becky, because now Becky could come out. Be overconfident. They could go another way. Becky could be overconfident, and then maybe, like you said, maybe Ronda will come in and take over. Because I don't see Shayna now being able to go back and get another championship against Becky. I don't see how you can do that.
It was the same thing that happened to her NXT when she was in it when she was inexpensive or not inexpensive when she was she basically didn't she lose to like a roll up a quick pin or something like that before and they blamed it on her inexperience. I said inexperience. It was like that's pretty much what happened. It was
Yeah,
the same shit all over again. How could you let that happen again? You know what I mean? At this level, at Mania, and this is the second Mania in a row that Becky's won with some type of like fluke type of pin or win. She beat Ronda with a fluke, and she's beaten Shayna with a fluke. Maybe this is a part of the storyline, and they're making a bunch of fluke finishes, or not to say fluke finishes, but these finishes are not the type of finishes that that needs to be held for WrestleMania to that caliber. These are the type of finishes that we're getting. Imagine like Hogan or Rock or somebody winning from like a roll up. Like, is that really a WrestleMania moment,
yeah.
regardless of a crowd or not? Because you have people making WrestleMania moments even without a crowd. That took away from the match. Not only was it the wrong decision, but what did you get out of that by rolling her up by like what a
Like
surprise?
like I said, the only thing I could think of is kind of what you're going with the inexperienced thing, or the fact that they're just going to bring Ronda back and do it. But I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'm just going to skip over Elias and King Corbin. Elias won, whatever. But what do you feel about the women's tag match? I felt like the Kabuki Warriors should have held on here.
I thought so too. Again, why do we care? Why do we care about Bliss and Alexa? They're already winning straps. They already won it. At least with Oscar, it was exciting. It was entertaining. It gave the title some type of credibility because we knew that these two women were fucking warriors. They were some of the best to
I
do it.
I would have liked them to have gone over to a SmackDown a little bit with those championships, the Kabuki Warriors, before giving them up, or even going to NXT because we haven't seen anybody who's held those women's titles go to NXT and have an actual match. I mean, Sasha and Bailey showed up once, but like I haven't seen that whole thing where these are going to get defended everywhere. Um, I would have liked to see the Kabuki Warriors hold on a little bit more and go to SmackDown and face another team, but it is what it is. I like Nikki and Alexa. I just wish the Kabuki Warriors could have held on a little bit longer. I like the match, but I wish it would have ended differently.
I totally agree with you, bro. I couldn't agree more. The match was good. It was probably Nikki Cross's best match. Alexa
Nikki
did
Cross is awesome. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's just no good wrestling is good wrestling to me. If it's not if my emotion is not into it, then it's just that. I just don't. I don't. It just doesn't. It's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So
What about the other tag team match, the men's ladder match that ended up being turned into a singles match? John Morrison versus Jimmy Uso versus Kofi Kingston. What'd you think about that one? I like how they started off. They were all doing like flips and like it was real fast paced. There were a lot of big spots in this match. What'd you think?
So those guys worked their asses off in an empty fucking room with a
They
ladder.
really did, man. They killed it in this match. This match was awesome.
I mean, for one, props to everybody, top to bottom, regardless of how some segments were trash. Y'all put your health on the line. Y'all put your time on the line to give back to fans. I mean, it was better than. I tell you what, both nights were better than I expected. I'll tell you
Same,
that.
definitely.
I'll tell you that.
I'll
But
tell you,
the ladder
I had
match,
a
I
I
really
had a
can't.
weird experience later on. I'll tell you about it. But keep going.
The ladder match, I can't really do it. No, it was spots. It was Kofi being Kofi. It was John being John. It was Oos being Oos.
You had
That
the
match
park.
was
Yeah, you had the Kofi flipping around, landing on his feet. You had John Morrison doing his parkour style, and then you just had the toughness of Jimmy Uso, who can kind of adapt to anything, any situation, really. So you kind of
and
had
he
all
was
these
getting his
guys.
ass whooped. He was getting
Yeah.
his ass whooped that match.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And all three of these guys really put their bodies on the line. Because usually in a tag team match like this was supposed to be, you have three other guys in this match that can take some of the bumps. So all these guys probably took a couple more bumps than they were gonna if this was a tag team match. But again, they put their bodies on the line. Morrison and Miz retained, which I was surprised. I was going to go with the Usos. They were my pick. But Miz and Morrison survived.
They were my
I'm,
pick.
I'm okay. Ooh, Miz and Morrison?
Yeah, man, these guys is just good, man. You got a mouthpiece and you got somebody that could. Anytime you got somebody with a mouthpiece, somebody that can work the WWE style, mixing with somebody that can give you the spots and still that's a good tag team. You know what I mean? And they just got the straps. Morrison's return was lackluster, so I expected them to go on a
It,
little
it
run.
was, yeah. I wanted a little bit more out of his return, but it's okay. A lot of people watching now probably didn't really know who he was, but it's okay. I was a big fan of him before. I would have liked a bigger impact on his return, but I'm glad they have the titles
Honestly,
now.
honestly, like when you sign in WWE, I think Morrison signed just for movie purposes. You know what I mean? And then you add in he's getting back with the Miz and give him something to do. They tag team champions. If you're not gonna be the champion, you know what I mean? Then at least you can go work towards that. Like, you know what I mean? So I I like where he's at. And I think once they turn on each other, have their feud, and he moves on, then he could go jump into the heavyweight, you know what I mean? Uh, you know,
I would like to
give
see him in like the U.S. Like think about if they threw him in against an Andrade, a Rey Mysterio, like that title scene on Raw. Or no, he's on SmackDown. I'm sorry. If they threw him in with Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn and Shinsuke and Cesaro, Gulak, even on Raw, if you throw him in over there too, like I was just saying with Andrade and Rey Mysterio, all those guys, that'd be amazing.
You could
Um,
throw him in with Braun. Braun having the championship, opens a lot of different doors for a lot of different people. You know what I mean? Like, so, but we'll get to that later. But
yeah.
I like where John is at right now.
Next next match, another match that was two guys absolutely giving their body, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Um, one hell of a freaking match with Kevin Owens jumping off the top. Um, at one point, Seth tried to just get the DQ, and Kevin Owens said, "Nah, we ain't doing it like that. Get your ass back here." They finished this one. This one really like was when I started really getting into night one, because like Sammy and Daniel got me into a little bit. The ladder match really got me into it, but then like Owens Rollins really, I was like, all right, I'm here. I'm in WrestleMania. Let's go. Um,
Tucky! I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
but I,
man.
I really I really enjoyed this match. What about you?
Oh man, this match was amazing. Um, the story, this match was so good that it made you forget about the lackluster build towards this particular match. With all the different outside elements and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
Uh,
they were connected along the way, but it wasn't a bigger story you really got connected to.
yeah, but we knew
But they were
because
always involved for a couple months there.
we knew that being with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, we knew they were going to have a good match. But I feel like they really, really had a good match. It was very, very intensity. Hill Seth is the best Seth. Always going to be the best Seth. His Hill promo. Let's take it back a couple weeks since we his Hill promo when he basically ran down his accomplishments was amazing. The promo that he basically left Kevin Owens speechless, in the ring when he was talking about what is your moments, what did you accomplish? Do you realize that I become a god under the brightest lights? Do you realize what I've accomplished at WrestleMania? And he is the guy. He fucking was 6-1. You know what I mean? Only lost to Randy. Now he's 6-2. He's lost to Kevin. Kevin was able to get his WrestleMania moment. Most people point at the sign. Kevin was able to jump over the fucking sign and go through the table. I loved it. I loved the match. I think the physicality was good. One thing about the no crowd is you kind of appreciate it a little bit more is because you hear everything in the ring. You can hear them talking shit to each other. You can hear everything in the ring. That's a plus to me. That's something that I really enjoy without the crowd. You know what I mean? But that's one of the things where
you could tell the guys who are good at it too. Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Drew was pretty good at it. Randy and Edge. Dolph's good at it. Yep. Rhea and Charlotte, pretty much the whole match, were jabbing back and forth. You can tell the people who are good at it, and it adds more to the match.
It adds more to the match. It makes it more serious. It makes it, I don't know, kind of sort of like.
Montez Ford is amazing at it.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get into that.
Ford, he busted his ass out there. I don't know if that was on Austin Theory or I guess that was on Austin to catch him.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Jesus. That was bad. But no, that Seth match was really, really good. I love the Messiah thing he got going on, and
I watched it with someone who's like kind of like really religious, and they did not like the Messiah thing at all. And I was like, well, that's why he did it.
That's exactly why. He came out looking like the Pope. Yep. If they hate it, then he's doing his job.
Sorry, I had to cough there. I turned it off. But yeah, that was a great match. All right, so let's get into this one. Goldberg was supposed to face Roman Reigns. We all know Roman, for good reason, for health reasons and health concerns, backed out. Good on him. But Braun Strowman, they announced on Friday night, Braun Strowman stepping in against Goldberg. And lo and behold, Braun Strowman wins, and Braun Strowman is your new Universal Champion. What the hell? What the hell, man?
Braun,
what the hell?
Braun. Listen, man. Anybody but Goldberg, man. Anybody but Goldberg, man.
Yeah. I'm glad it's back on somebody that's going to be there every week. And Braun should have got it a long time ago when he was really hot. So we'll see what he can do with, because obviously now he's going to probably go against Roman Reigns.
Now this is where it gets tricky to me, because you have someone like Braun Strowman, and he gets choked out by the Fiend. Nobody thinks nothing of it. The Fiend gets smashed by Goldberg. Then now Braun beats, Goldberg.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, but I'm trying not to be too picky. I just want to kind of be thankful that we got it back on somebody that's going to be on TV.
I'm definitely thankful, but this is why I bring it up, because here's where credibility lies. You know what I mean? This is my point with shit. Like, it's people out there now. Fans are fickle, but we gotta address everybody. There's people out there that know for a fact that this was just a bait and switch to Braun Strowman. Even with that being said, if we keep it kayfabe, if we keep the storyline, the Fiend never really got his hands on Braun. So if Goldberg takes out the Fiend and Braun squashes Goldberg, then okay, it's more respect level there. Being as though that we know is being switched, it's like some people disrespect it. Me personally, he worked his ass off. He was on the main roster without any type of like matches, you know what I mean? And he had to learn in front of us, and he got older in front of us and got white hot. And what did they do with him? They made him the 50 greatest Royal Rumble fucking winner. They made him a tag team. They gave him the tag team titles with Nicholas. They gave him an Intercontinental match that didn't matter, or they gave him an Intercontinental title run that didn't matter, didn't equal to nothing, you know. But on paper, he's the Intercontinental title. He's the Intercontinental champion. He's the tag team champion. He's the Universal champion. And that's just what it comes down to. You know what I mean?
You said greatest Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah, greatest Royal Rumble winner. Andre
Tag,
the Giant winner, I
tag
believe.
team. Yeah, tag team. With
He got fuck
Nicholas.
around. He fuck around in the Hall of Fame.
Tag
Fucking
team. Tag team with a child.
right. He fuck around. Damn near got a fucking Grand Slam. If you
Yeah.
think about it, like he
So
is a Hall of Fame ballot. Hall of Fame ballot fucking contender now.
Yeah, we'll see where that one goes, but I think we all know it's heading to Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I just hope they give him a run. I just hope that they do something with him so that
I do too. I do too. But if he goes right to Roman, there's no run. That run's gonna hit a brick wall.
I think Corona is in his favor. The longer Corona is around, the better.
Well, it could be. We might not get any TV from WWE, so we'll see.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
I mean, from what I've heard, and who knows, from what I've heard is they only have shot up to tonight, Monday Night Raw, and then after that they don't have anything taped, so we'll see. Whereas I've heard AEW has a month's worth, so we'll see.
You know what? They gotta keep going.
Yeah, we'll see.
If they don't,
it's tough. It's tough because they're in Florida, and Florida is really cracked down. So.
Oh, they gotta. I don't know. They gotta go build a compound somewhere because they gotta go film this shit.
Speaking of a compound, Undertaker, AJ Styles, Boneyard match. What were your thoughts? I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was awesome for what it was. You know what I mean? If I thought the spot where there was a bunch of dead motherfuckers and the whole club and AJ and Undertaker fucked all of them up. I thought that was extremely cheesy. I wanted to see some of those other motherfuckers. I don't know what they called. Fuck Undertaker up just for a little bit. I actually thought they were on Taker's side. You know, it would have been awesome if they were on Taker's side.
That would have been cool.
But when they circled him, I'm like, oh yeah, this is some cheesy WWE movie shit.
What I was about to say is that was the best WWE movie I've ever seen.
Exactly. That's like it's definitely like the greatest WWE movie ever.
Better than 12 Rounds 2, better than the Marine 25, better than all that.
Yeah, I was talking to Chiefs about this shit, and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with it, but I do feel like
I think it was awesome. I had no idea what to expect because I was like, Boneyard match, I don't know what this is going to be. I figured it would be outside or something. But I felt like the quality that they really tried to put out, it really showed that they took time to really try to do this. You know what I mean? Really try to portray that this was a graveyard. This was going to be a fight, a battle outside. If Undertaker can keep doing stuff like this, it'll turn me around. You know me, I haven't been a big Undertaker fan over the past a good while, but this is my favorite Undertaker match in at least the last 5 years, at least. Probably longer.
Undertaker might found a new career. You know what I'm saying? Whooping
we'll
ass.
See. I mean, here's the thing with Undertaker. You could keep doing stuff like this, and then who knows where you could branch off from. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with the Firefly Funhouse match. You could keep doing stuff like that. Which let's get into night 2 so we can start talking about that. You got any final thoughts on night 1 or the Undertaker AJ?
My final thoughts are Taker needs to keep doing matches like this so he doesn't, kill himself out there. That's my. I think that the shit was awesome. Was some parts cheesy? Yeah, but like you said, it was still the best WWE movie. It was better than the match that Randy and Bray had. I tell you that.
All right. Keep talking for a second. I gotta step away for one quick second.
Okay, he's gonna step away with his Bray Wyatt shirt. And but yeah, I felt like what else? Seth Rollins was really, really good. That was a dope match. People need to go back and watch that. KO finally able to get his moment. I didn't like
back.
I didn't like Becky winning. I didn't like that at all. I didn't care for what else I didn't care for night 1. Nothing with what is his name? Gunk? What is his name?
Gronk.
Gronk, whatever. No, I don't
Yeah,
like nothing with him.
I'm a fan of Gronk, the football player. I'm not a fan of Gronk, the sports entertainer.
I'm good.
So I'm with you, and I'm a huge Gronk fan as a tight end in the NFL, but nah, get out of here, Gronk. Love you, but nah.
I'm just tired of these motherfuckers coming over here and making their money and taking up spot, and they just making it a game. Like it's not always a game. You know what I mean? You got to get a little bit serious.
Yeah.
Uh, you
Night
know,
two.
night two.
Liv Morgan defeats Natalya. Good for her. She got a WrestleMania moment. And the match was all right. I mean, Liv has improved a lot. She's gotten a lot better. But again, no story really from this. But the match was all right.
I didn't see that.
Okay, we'll move on then. Liv Morgan wins. They kicked it off. They kicked off night two with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. And I gotta say, Rhea dropped the whole black outfit and she went with the what was that Dragon Ball outfit there she had on, I think.
It was a Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked really good. I like that outfit. Charlotte, as always, came out looking like a queen. These two put on a really solid match, man. This was the best women's match of the weekend by far.
It was the best women match in a while. I think.
Agreed.
Wow.
At least
For
on the main,
psychology.
I was gonna say on the main roster, it's been the best women's match for a while.
My only thing is, I love the match. I feel like the match was very physical. It was intense. Some of those slaps were
Yeah,
crazy.
I thought that too. When they were going back, like I think Charlotte or Rhea was like hitting her, like slapping her in the back, like the ribs, and then Charlotte was just like slapping her across the face and hitting her as hard as she could. They were getting real good and real snug. It looked like in there. They were really hitting each other. It looked like. Kudos to them. I mean, these two women can go though. Like you said, you saw Rhea's knee really getting worked on. Charlotte just kind of took over at one point and just really worked down Rhea's knee. She put her in the figure four. She put her in basically every possible move she could think of to get that. But in the end, Charlotte would be victorious. Charlotte won, man. Charlotte is now the NXT Women's Champion. All I'm saying is, for people that are upset about it, think about what we can get now. Charlotte versus Io. Charlotte versus Tegan Knox. Charlotte versus Candice LeRae. Like, think of all these great matchups we're going to get now. Because let's be real, the main roster, we've seen Asuka, Charlotte, Becky, Bayley for however long. This is going to be nice to switch it up. It's going to be nice to see Charlotte get some new opponents. It's going to be nice to hopefully see Rhea get some new opponents if she stays up or goes down.
I agree. I agree. I just don't. I just think it's too early. I just felt like for one, I'm I'm terrified, horrified for her if she has to just stay up on the main roster. She's on the main roster. I'm horrified. Two, if she goes back to NXT, it's like now you're at the back of the line, because it is just like Bianca has to be around for that because there's a whole feud thing.
Here, I was just going to bring this up. So there's three women who potentially we don't really know where they're at. It's Rhea, Shayna, and now Bianca because she popped up at the end of the Street Profits match. So there's three women there. I don't think they can call up all three, but one of them is getting called up. Rhea, Shayna, or Bianca. One of them's not going back to NXT.
Here's the thing. I think if anybody stays up there, it'll probably be.
I say Shayna.
Shayna.
Okay. Yeah, I would say Shayna as well. But Bianca coming out during the Street Profits match leads me to believe she also is staying up.
I mean, or they could have just used her because she was there.
Give them a WrestleMania moment, yeah.
Yeah, because she's been working hard. She's been doing well, and you're there. Let's give you a little spot. Triple. This is the PC. This is your home. This is your home. They could have pitched it. They could have pitched that last minute. Montez is somebody who knows Triple H and them could have signed off.
I mean, I guess we'll.
She could appear with them up there periodically.
I was gonna say, we'll probably find out tonight because if she shows up on Raw again, I would say it's closer that she's going up. I mean, it would be nice to see her back in NXT and win that NXT Women's Championship because that's about the only thing she hasn't done down there. She's had great match after great match.
I think it was just a moment.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see. I mean, I'd like to see her up there because the NXT Women's Division's getting pretty crowded nowadays.
It's a feud waiting to happen. Her and Charlotte it's still a situation between them two. But the thing about it is, Rhea's at the back of the line now. You know, Rhea just got the title. She just had an amazing run, just winning the title. Y'all had her beat, you know, Baszler, which was having a historic run, and now Baszler loses, get to the main roster, and then you have, you know, you do all this fly, you know, shit, and you know, you're a sole survivor, and you know, you win at War Games. You finally beat this record-breaking champion, and then the moment you face Charlotte, you tap out. It's like now you gotta end up back in NXT.
But it wasn't. But to be fair, it wasn't just tapping out. They spent a majority of that match just working her fucking knee over. So it was at least part of the story. At least it wasn't a roll up. I mean, it's Charlotte's MO is to hurt people enough so that they do tap out to her finisher, which focuses on that knee. So it played into the story. It's not like they just did it once. Like they worked her knee through the whole match. But I understand what you're saying. I do.
Though. Is she elevated? Yes. Is the NXT title elevated? I don't think so. I think
it's kind of hard to not say that, man. It's kind of hard to say it's not. You got Charlotte, the most decorated women's champion of all time, and now she's got the NXT championship again. Now she's going to go down there and have matches with all those women and build all them up. You may not like it, but she is, man. She's building it up.
She is,
even more than it already is.
I don't know. I don't know what it's about because when she went down there the last time, the ratings actually dropped opposed to when Becky went down there and, you know, the shit actually did well. So I don't know where it goes.
That's one segment on a 2-hour show, so you can't just say that, you know.
We'll see where it goes. I just feel like I feel like it was entirely too fast to take the belt off of Rhea Ripley, especially with the times that we're going through right now. I just think it was. I don't think it was. She could have been elevated regardless. You know what I mean? She's elevated and losing. She would have been elevated even more, winning.
Guess what?
Beating Shayna at the historic run, and then beating, you know, Charlotte, the declarated most, you know, you would have been like another, you know what I mean? You would have been on some other shit, but it's just like I don't know. Like, that's where I'm at.
I agree with you because I actually agree with you on everything. I'm just playing the other side because it's no fun to just agree on everything. It's no fun to just agree on everything.
I agree with you too, though, bro. I mean, it's that side of things too. Yeah, she can have these great matches with all these females, but
it's one of the one
anyway without the.
It's one of the it's one of the one times I could see it both ways, but we'll see. We'll see.
Anyway, you could.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna skip over this one real quick. Aleister Black defeats Bobby Lashley with Black Mass. Didn't really need to happen. It was a match. It was about 7 minutes long, I believe. Good for Aleister Black. He gets a WrestleMania win. So
yeah, his wife looked amazing. Also.
Oh yeah. Let's get to the real deal. What we all came here for. What we really came here to talk about. Otis versus Dolph.
I like this match.
First off, I want to say we need to see Dolph. We need to see Dolph and Sonya as a team from now on because they looked really good together. I would like to see that, Sonya and Dolph. Also, I was into the match. I was really invested, probably because I've been invested in Otis forever. You know me and Otis.
What happens when you're in the storylines and you're invested in people, and you know they told a good story.
Yeah, and Dolph.
It's probably the best story they told him out.
Yeah, Dolph plays this character good, where he's like pretty much just rubbing it in that he's got the girl, that he's hotter than Otis. He's more fit. Obviously, Mandy would want him. Why would Mandy want Otis? Like, he's really good at playing this character. Sonya's been really good and pivotal in this as well. You got 4 people in this who are all coming out, like, doing a really good job. And this is what you want from a storyline. Everyone getting over, everyone playing their part, and everyone getting invested. And it cultivates and culminates in a match like this with Otis finally winning.
Aren't they? They're They're an item, correct?
Who?
Mandy and they're not together.
Mandy has an actual boyfriend, I believe.
Oh, she does.
I'm
Okay.
pretty positive I was on her Instagram because I was kind of interested in that as well.
Yeah,
So
I thought they
I'm
were.
pretty sure she has a boyfriend. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me
I don't
on it,
know.
but I'm pretty sure.
They're. I don't know if they were or weren't whatever, but they have natural chemistry between
Oh
them.
yeah, absolutely.
Tuffy,
All
uh,
of them have really good chemistry.
oh Oh is my guy, man. He has this charisma about
Me
him.
too.
He has a great finisher that the fans can get
I've been
behind.
Otis since day
That's like
one.
the new rock bottom to me. That's like when you hit the worm into the, you know what I'm saying, the elbow drop. It's like I think he's a future champion. Me personally, I think he could be heavyweight champion.
Man, I told you this a long time ago. You know that.
Same. We always love Otis.
I've been OG Otis. But no,
Yeah,
Mandy
yeah, yeah.
Mandy came out and helped Otis when she saw they were trying to cheat. Sonya and Dolph were trying to cheat him out of a victory. She found out last week what really happened
This
behind
been
the
going on for
scenes.
a long time.
So, and at the end, Mandy gave him a big old kiss, and Otis
Hold on,
carried her out.
hold on. This been going on for a long time,
It's
though.
been going on for like 7 months.
Yeah, he's been tweeting her and liking her shit for a long time before it was even like a storyline.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
But on screen, it's been going on for a good 6 7 months.
yeah. So if you know the full story, you like, yo, this shit is crazy. And then for it to have this, it was a WrestleMania moment. It was
And
a great moment.
imagine the pop for Mandy kissing Otis if there was a crowd there.
I
That
know
would have
everybody
been
popped
great.
that one. Yeah,
That would have been great. All right,
yeah.
man. All right, man. Edge versus Randy Orton in a last man standing match. Edge's first.
I think this match was great. I can't hear you. You there?
What'd you think about the match?
Okay, you can hear me.
I can hear you now. I said, what'd you think about this last man standing match?
I think this match was great. I
Me
don't have
too.
I don't have any complaints.
Me neither. I saw a lot of people complaining that it was too long. And to those people, I want to say it's a last man standing match between two of the greatest wrestlers of all time. What the hell? Like, what did you think you think this was going to be a 15-minute match? Like, have you ever seen a last man standing match? That's one of my things I would ask those people who were a little upset that it was long. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought they told a great story throughout. They were really, you could tell how heated it was. They went all around the whole venue. They went in the warehouse. They were on top of the truck. They were everywhere, man. They did everything you could possibly do in the gym, everywhere, and you really felt the passion, the hatred towards each other. Even though Randy kept saying he loves them, but I thought it was good. I thought it was really good first singles match back for Edge, and Edge got the win, which was even better.
I agree, man. I mean, for people saying that this match is too long, the match was like 37 minutes.
I have let me see. Yeah, 36 and a half minutes. Yep.
I just watched Kenny Omega
Yeah, exactly.
versus Trent for a half an hour. I mean, and no one complained about that. You see what I'm saying?
And there's
I
no
hate to
story
pull
involved
that.
in that.
I hate to pull that card because I've never done it, but bro, these guys go half an hour. AEW, they go half an hour. It's just nothing to them. Like, you know what I'm saying? New Japan, 45
And I
minutes to an
and
hour.
I and I enjoy it all. Give me more. Give me more of that.
Man, this story was built up. This guy, for
Guess
one,
what?
he took 9 years off. He came back from an injury he wasn't supposed to come back from. He looks in tip-top shape. I feel bad for him. This is one of those
Here he
moments.
is right here.
Right. This is one of those moments where I feel like he should have had a crowd. I wish there was a crowd there. He
This is
deserved
old
the crowd.
school. This is Brood Edge. I was showing you before.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money in that.
I've had this for years, bro.
That's a lot
But
of money in that.
the other thing I wanted to point out was like matches like this really benefited from WrestleMania being 2 nights.
Yep.
Like matches like this match, Charlotte and Rhea, Kevin Owens, Seth
I
Rollins,
like the 2 nights.
like they all benefited because matches like that had a good story tie in, it got to play out. Like in years past, they would have gotten 7-8 minutes to do a lot of those matches, and their story would have been rushed and not been able to play out.
I like the 2 nights.
I liked it for that reason. If you could keep giving me more of the matches that matter, like I don't need the Elias King Corbin, I don't need those type of matches. But if you could add a couple more matches in that I'm like, all right, cool. Like I get why they're fighting. I thought it really, for a lot of people like Otis and Dolph, they had how many? They had an 8-minute match, but I mean, it probably would have been 4 or 5 if WrestleMania was one night. You know what I mean? Probably would have been. So I really liked what they did with that. I thought this match especially and a couple others really benefited from that.
Yeah, I think the match was amazing. I feel like the physicality was dope. I feel like them working around the entire arena and going through the back. I feel like even they started off with him holding the camera and then hitting the arch and started off was amazing. It was ripped. It was non-stop action. Like,
and I'm super biased because obviously this guy right here, Edge and Randy Orton, are 2 of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but for a good reason, because they're 2 of the best wrestlers of all time.
The physicality was top level. You were invested emotionally. The story that they told was amazing. This is WrestleMania. This is what the fuck it's about. This is about the story, and it's about ending the story. At one point, WrestleMania was about ending the story at WrestleMania. And you had
that's what it should be every year. It should be the culmination of a year-long build to something, a culmination to something, a feud ending, a feud beginning. It should be a culmination to something, a new star being born, like Drew being finally crowned the star, something like, you know what I mean?
Not a bullshit finisher, kick out, finisher, kick out, finisher.
Yeah.
Another finisher match. Not like this Goldberg and Brock, these type fucking matches. We're talking about a real fucking match. We're talking about involved and people. I don't understand. I don't get why people last man standing match. It showed you how much these motherfuckers hated each other. They got up continuously, got up. You know what I mean? And fell back down.
I was honestly waiting for them to do something with that big giant ladder. I was waiting for something bad to happen with that, and then I was waiting for them. The big giant ladder that was next to the truck that was like 15 feet. I was half expecting somebody to jump off of that.
Yeah.
And then I was expecting someone to get thrown off the top of that truck.
Somebody's gonna say.
I was getting scared. I was getting scared for that.
Somebody's gonna say, "Oh, that spot was bullshit because we just watched something happen and Tommaso Ciampa and then Johnny just jumped off the PC and that was better." And I'm like,
I don't compare like that, man.
Some
people do. That's what I say. Some people compare, but like if you compare it, you're never gonna enjoy anything. You're never gonna enjoy anything if you do it like that.
But it was people there. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why are we even talking about that? That has nothing to do with the main roster. It has nothing to do with this story. Yeah. And this story right now, everything meant something. Like, I'm like, y'all not seeing the fact that they're standing up and then they're falling back down because they can't sustain. That's how much they hate each other. They get up for the takedowns and they fall out because they got a break. We had like a 10-second break between the joints. It's just like, y'all not paying attention.
Yeah.
It's just like,
So the next match didn't really have a build, but like I really enjoyed it. The Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Austin Theory. Like this might not have had a build, and it might have been only like 6-7 minutes, but these guys got their stuff in. They did their spots, and they showed why they're like these 4 guys are the future of WWE, and they're gonna be for a long time. And I think I'm glad that they got in there and got to showcase a little bit of the future in there because there's a lot of the past, a lot of people that have been there for a while. So it was good to see some guys that you're gonna see for a while and for good reason.
Yeah, that one spot was crazy, man. It was scary, man. Montez Ford, man, crash and burn, man. I guess Austin was supposed to catch him.
Street, you good?
Yeah, you hear me?
I'm good now. I was saying, I think I lost you.
All right. I said it. Speaking of them, I said that one spot where Montez crashed and burned, man, and Austin was supposed to catch him. I believe, man. That shit was scary, man. When that shit happened. But other than that, man, yeah, it was awesome, man. I think.
Yeah.
I think
it was quick.
All the future. Yeah,
It was quick, but it was quick. It was quick, but it didn't feel too quick because I felt like everybody got to do their thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I enjoyed the match. One thing I didn't enjoy, I fucking hated the commentary. The commentary was terrible. You know,
Yeah, I
with
didn't like the
the,
commentary for quite a few matches throughout the night.
yeah, and that killed a lot of shit, especially when I was being a crowd. I don't know what the fuck they were talking about. They were like whispering at one point during Randy match. What the fuck? But
I mean, I get they were probably trying to set a tone with the Randy match, but it didn't come off that way. It was a little too. There's a very violent thing going on, and we're sitting here whispering about it. I didn't like that.
yeah, dude, like that,
Yeah,
that 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 was fucking insane. And then Jericho says, "I'm watching Mania with the sound off."
yeah, that was funny. What'd you
Don't
think
knock
about
the
the
commentary
women's?
though. Get the fuck out of here, Jericho.
What'd you think about the women's match? Bailey versus Lacey, Naomi, Sasha, and Tamina. This was clearly, in my opinion, just to set up Sasha versus Bailey one-on-one. That's all this was.
Yeah,
It
I
was
don't feel
fine.
that type of way.
It was all right. I want to know why it took so much effort to get rid of Tamina. Tamina hasn't wrestled in a year, really. Like she has never won the women's championship. I don't believe she's never been
I don't
billed
have a
as
problem with that.
a
I don't have a
monster.
problem with that.
But I'm
That's
just
building credibility.
it is. But I was just laughing. I'm like, why is it taking so much
That's
effort to get rid of Tamina? I was
that's,
like,
that's because you're using logic. Because you can't. We gotta. You using logic. Like yo, what the fuck? But
yeah.
nah,
But
but it's building credibility. So I will not.
Tamina got eliminated, then Naomi got eliminated, and then it got down to the real match. We had Bailey, Lacey, and Sasha. Sasha and Bailey were working together for a while, but then Lacey went after went after Sasha. Bailey pushed her out of the or no, right? No, Lacey went after Bailey. Sasha pushed her out of the way. Lacey hit her, and then that's when Lacey uh, eliminated Sasha. But Bailey didn't go try to help her. So that's kind of the story there that we're probably going to see down the road. Because Bailey ended up beating Lacey Evans, but I think we're going to see like Sasha start to question her friendship with Bailey, and we're gonna get an interesting little feud going in whenever we do pick back up with that. But I thought it was good to set that up down the road. What'd you think?
Yeah, yeah. I like Lacey. I like that. I like how they ended the match.
Me
The
too.
match was fun. I like the angle. They teased it. We know what's coming. I would have liked to seen it I would have liked to see the turn happen last night, but
Man, these are hurting my ears.
you hear me?
Yeah, I was
No.
stretching. My headphones are hurting my
Uh,
ears, man. I'm not used to
I
wearing
would
these.
I wouldn't have felt away if she turned last night. I would have liked to see it last night. You know.
Yeah, but they got to hold on for something to go down the road. They can't give it
Yeah.
away right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. And then now down to the last two of the night. What this was my favorite right here. Next match was my favorite. The Firefly Funhouse match with John Cena and Bray Wyatt. A lot of people, a lot of mixed reactions on this one. Like I saw a lot of people didn't like it, but I, I don't know, man. It was 50-50 for a lot of people, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was exactly what we've needed from the Fiend the whole time. Like this is the stuff I want to see more of. Like clearly going through John's whole career, like the rumors of him turning heel, NWO thing, like everything. They brought everything first full circle. Like everything John Cena, and then they tied in his stuff with Bray. Like it was perfectly done, and I thought it was just weird enough to the point where I loved it.
I don't understand what the fuck people want. I don't.
There do
I
I,
don't
man.
get it.
I loved
Y'all
it.
said y'all never liked any Fiends matches. Okay. Y'all have the Fiend fucking give beat them down by fucking them up with a mind game, with a mind fuck. It's just like, dude. Yeah. For one, we've never seen nothing like this ever. Never ever seen
I
anything
would
like
love to see more of this because that was perfectly done. If he could do that with like a lot of other guys, like imagine if he did something like that with Randy or he did something like that with Seth, like some of the older guys like Edge. you could go through Edge's whole career, like kind of messing with Edge's mind. That like stuff like that would be awesome if we could get more of that.
I knew it was crazy when they had the Fiend in the corner and they had Ray behind him, and he was just like, "Let me in." Though it was just like, "Yo, what the fuck? Yo, what the fuck is going on?" It's like, yo, that's what I'm talking about. That is what the fuck I'm talking about. Why did we have to have that bullshit title run? Other than that, like he just never needed that title. But anyway, for him to recoup this way and he's adding this different element, I hope that we see more shit like this as well. But that was definitely different. I didn't ever knew about the NWO shit, so when it happened in the movie, I didn't know what that was about. The NWO shit.
I had read like maybe a year or two ago there was rumors he was going to turn heel. They were going to bring back the NWO. He was going to be in lead in the NWO. But again, it's just the internet rumors that you hear all the time. So, but I guess he played into it a little bit there. Or it could have had nothing to do with that and they were just doing something else. But that's what I took out of it because I remember reading those rumors a little while back. But overall, my thoughts were I want more of that. That was amazing. Imagine if they did that stuff when Matt Hardy was around. Um,
Right.
or if Matt Hardy was still around, imagine the stuff that they could be doing right now. But we'll see. Hopefully, Vince will wake up and see that this was pretty freaking awesome, and we should do more of it.
Yeah, man, that shit was awesome, dude. I really liked it a lot.
Here,
John played the character perfectly.
do you want to know my analogy to the Fiend is a little bit like the new revamped version of It. The first part of it, the first It, when it came out, like the newer It, they had It and then It Chapter 2. The first one was amazing. People loved it. It was really dark. The character was really dark. Um, you get to the second It, so I would say that was the first portrayal of this new Fiend character when he was first coming out as Bray Wyatt and we were doing all the Firefly Funhouse stuff and the Fiend stuff. And then you get to It Chapter 2 and how comical is the villain in that. I don't know if you've seen the new It Chapter 2, but he gets really comical, and it kind of took me out of that movie. And that's what they did for a little bit there with Bray Wyatt's Fiend character. And then they brought him back, I think, recently, and I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's too loose of an analogy for some people. Probably for some people that loved the It movies. I liked them, but I thought it got a little comical there in the second one.
I didn't watch the second one. I got to check it out. But yeah, I think they definitely brought it back because the Fiend was definitely uh, uh, hurt by that dumbass loss. That
Exactly, and that's what I take that dumbass loss for me was how the direction that they took the It character in Chapter 2.
Yeah.
But moving on to the main event, something we all wanted to see: Brock Lesnar defending against Drew McIntyre. Finally, bro, finally, we got Drew McIntyre's the champ, bro. Well deserved. About 30 finishers between the two of them, but you know what? To hell with it. To hell with it, man.
Another Brock match.
We have two. Yo. We got two full-time champions right now. Two.
Yeah.
Two. That hasn't been the case for a while.
I hope I hope that Braun holds it for a while. I hope Roman would say, you know what, Braun, go ahead for a run, bro. I see you in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, eventually revisit that feud down the line because they had a hot feud for a while and they were doing all that destruction in the last man standing match they had. I would eventually revisit that, but not right now.
Yeah.
But Drew, man? I mean, well deserved. This guy he left, got fired, worked his ass off, got back to the top, was champion everywhere, and came back and look at him now, back on top for the first. Well, not back on top for the first time in WWE as WWE champion. I know it means a hell of a lot to him,
I think he's the guy now.
As a fan, I couldn't be more happy.
I think he's the guy now.
I hope so. He should run with that title for a while.
I don't think nobody's beaten him for a while.
I'd like to see him tangle with. He'll probably tangle with Seth. I think you're going to see him. Clearly, he's going to tangle with Seth. You're going to get him against Kevin Owens, maybe.
AJ. We'll see versus AJ first.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too, but I think Seth feels he needs that title at all times, so I feel like you might see that first. But Seth doesn't need the title again, so Drew can beat him and establish himself right off the bat as one of the top champions, beating Brock and Seth. That's what I would do.
I'll put him as AJ first.
I would hold off on AJ right now because AJ just lost to Taker, Build AJ back up. I would go Seth, just because of what I just said. But it could go either way.
So what would KO do?
KO? I wouldn't do KO right now because KO is basically a face right now, as is Drew McIntyre. You know WWE doesn't like to do face. I would do it down the line if you're gonna have Drew hold the title for a little bit, because I think Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre for the title will be a hell of a match. But I think like I said, I'm gonna keep going back to Seth Rollins. I just think it makes sense to me, if you want to keep building Drew, have him beat the last two champions. And what better way, we've constantly had the thing where the champion gets the rematch and the champion wins. Brock, how many times have Brock and Seth gone back and forth with this title?
No, for sure. I would leave. I would still have Seth feud with KO. I would still let them go back and forth. I would end it right now.
Okay.
I would have Seth, be pissed off because at the end of the day, it was supposed to be, the match was supposed to be over. You know what I mean? And he played Jedi mind tricks on him or whatever, and had him come back down there or whatever. And that's when he lost.
I want to see Andrade, baby. Andrade and Drew rematch of that NXT Championship match where Drew got hurt. Remember?
Isn't he champion?
Huh?
Isn't Andrade the champion?
He's U.S. champion, but I would love to see Drew versus Andrade, because if you remember, their last match in NXT was when Drew lost the title and he got hurt.
I would like to see that too.
It's got some history to it.
I definitely would like to see that.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, shit. I like to see. Call me crazy. I would like to see Carl Anderson go at the WWE Championship, man.
Maybe U.S. I don't know about WWE. I don't know about the top, but I'd like to see him as a U.S.
Yeah,
because he's a workhorse. He's a workhorse, and he hasn't been able to show it either.
Yeah, he can talk.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
All right, man. Well, I think WrestleMania was a success overall.
Yeah,
I was skeptical, but overall I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it made shit seem a little bit more intense. So yeah,
all for this, baby.
You know what I mean?
This is Drew's now.
Yeah, but we should get back on this later. We should get on this tonight if we can.
Yeah,
or,
we can do that. We can review AEW since we talked mostly about WWE. We haven't done AEW in a minute, so we'll put out an AEW pod for you guys too, because I know everybody's sitting inside and at home like we are.
All this content, they done fucked up.
Yeah, you guys messed up now. We're gonna be putting stuff out every day.
Yeah.
Maybe not every day, but every other day.
Yeah, for sure.
But check out all of our videos. I had to stop working on my YouTube video. I had to stop working on my YouTube series because the music, we can't really get the music going because of the social distancing thing. Because I got a guy that needs to go meet up with the other guy and make this music happen. So I'm still shooting all this stuff. I just can't put it together till I get the music done. So
Right.
Don't worry, it's coming. I've been shooting in this YouTube series. I'm really excited to do it, but I gotta wait for this music to get done because I ain't putting out a silent film.
Absolutely. See, man, had him get on this Skype and work it out.
It'll be worth the wait. I don't want to put out nothing half-assed. It'll be worth the wait.
For sure, bro. You already know.
Trap, you still been rolling strong with Trap, so keep watching that.
Yeah, we just working on that, and keep touring us, and you know what I mean. We better. It's like 3 shows a week, wrestling, so we're gonna figure it out.
All right. Till next time, brother. I'll see you.
All right, bro.
Peace out, everybody.